welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica and I'm so happy that you could be here today. So it's been a minute since I've last posted. I think it's been roughly about a week, so not too long, but there's definitely a good reason. I just kind of took a break from social media, from YouTube, kind of jumped into the new year with a clear and open mind. So your girl is back. I'm back to my regular posted videos. So if you haven't already, make sure that you do catch up on all of my videos as well as subscribe to my channel. So throughout this week, I added a newest member to my little family and I'm so excited to show you guys. So I added a new little puppy. Her name is Brooklyn and she honestly is the sweetest thing ever. She is a beagle puppy, so my week has been full of tending to her. If any of you guys are like dog moms or dog dads out there, then you probably understand getting a new dog completely takes over your life, especially in the beginning, but she is so cute and adorable and I love her so much. She's such a sweet dog and so cute. Look at her. Look, Brooklyn. She'll probably be making a lot of appearances in my video because honestly, I am so obsessed. I am like that total dog mom that like takes pictures 80 times a day of their dog and like, I don't know. I'm so obsessed with my new puppy and I think that she is just the cutest thing. So that is why I haven't posted in a week. Just because not only did I want to clear mine, but also because I adopted a new puppy and yeah, so she's been taking up quite a bit of my time. She's super sweet. Well, for the most part, she's like a little Sour Patch Kid, honestly. Ow. Ow. But yeah, I love her. She's been a lot of work, but yeah, overall it's been great. Now she's biting me, so I don't know. Is she that sweet or what? Outside of bringing home a new puppy, there are so many books that I have found that are coming out this year, and I'm super excited to read them. So I'm gonna share with you guys some of the books that I'm most anticipating to read for the year. If you wanna see those books, then keep on watching. This first book that I wanna read is called Black Buck, and this book has been really buzzed about a lot on Bookstagram, so I'm pretty interested to dive into this one. It's essentially about a young man's venture into corporate America and into the sales force and how he's making it as an African-American man. So I'm really interested in reading this one. I think the cover is absolutely stunning and yeah, I don't know much about it, but I do know that it's about corporate America, about being in the sales world as a Black person. So I think this one is going to be definitely a top read of mine. This next book is called My Year Abroad, and I'm really excited about this one. This one I believe is about a young man's cultural immersion into America. I believe it's about a Chinese American man. It has a lot to do with culture, life, love, just the ups and downs of everything. So I'm really excited about this one. I do want to incorporate more Asian writers into my reading this year. That was definitely one of my goals, is to read a little bit more diversely with some of the writers that I'm choosing. So I definitely want to read this one and I think the cover is absolutely stunning. I mean, look at it. Seriously, so pretty. This next book is called The Other Black Girl and oh my gosh, I think this one comes out in like June or July, I forgot, but I think I am most excited about this one because it is a thriller, which I love a good spooky book or a good thriller. It's described as Get Out meets Devil Wears Prada, so I mean, this is destined for greatness. It's essentially about these two Black girls that work in publishing. I think it's book publishing, which I'm so excited about. I think that's so neat. But it's about them sort of dealing with workplace drama, and I think one of the characters starts being pushed out by the other girl, supposedly. So I don't know, it's very interesting when I read the premise, so I'm very excited. And another stunning cover. I mean, chef's kiss to this cover. This next book is called Aisha At Last, and this isn't a new release. I believe this one came out in 2018, but it is a book that I'm really excited to read about. So it's about this young woman named Aisha who is pressured by her Muslim family to get married and is pushing for her to have an arranged marriage, but she wants no part of that. Enters this young man named Khalid, who really challenges her thinking and her way of life and just pretty much everything. And I believe it may be a love story, maybe like an untraditional love story. I don't know, but I think that it's absolutely stunning. I'm really interested in reading it, so this is one that I will be reading very, very soon. This next book is called Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, and this is the same author that wrote The Hate You Give. I actually have not read that book, but I have seen the movie. It is absolutely incredible. I encourage all of you to go watch the movie or read the book, or actually preferably both, because it is, that movie is so, so, so good. So this one I think happens actually 17 years before the Hate You Give event occurs. This one is about a young boy, I think his name is Mav. His father was brought up in a gang, and so Mav is dealing with living in the streets and kind of coming out of it, protecting his family, protecting his dignity, and just coming of age in general. I'm really excited to read this one. I think this one is going to be really widespread simply because Angie Thomas is an incredible writer. So the fact that she came out with this one, I think it's really going to highlight a lot of young boys and young men dealing with, you know, growing up in a particular neighborhood and just coming of age. So I'm really excited to dive into this one as well. This next book is called Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This will actually be my very first book that I've read by Riley Sager. I have not read him at all. So I'm really interested about this one. This one essentially is a thriller. It's about two people that are sharing a ride back home to Ohio. I think they both were like at a camp somewhere, and instead of driving separately, they ride back together, and the other suspects that the other one is a serial killer. This is right down my alley because I love serial killer books. I love thrillers. I love something that is scary. So I'm excited to read this one. It gives me very like, what's that movie where they're like driving together? Is it Hostel? I don't know, but it gives me like that kind of creepy vibe. So we shall see. Again, this is my first Riley Sager book. I don't really know what to expect because I've heard mixed reviews about Riley Sager books, so I may read something prior to this one, but we will see. But nonetheless, it's a spooky, scary book, so can't wait to read it. So this next book is called This Close to Okay, and I'm really in love with the whole premise of it. Trigger warning, it does have elements of suicide and self-harm. So it's about this young woman who is a therapist and this man that she sees trying to end his life, and she essentially convinces him not to. It's about the relationship together, and I think it has deep conversations about, you know, suicide, the meaning of life, and really just a self-reflective book. I think this is going to be absolutely stunning. I mean, I don't really know much about it, but I can just tell by reading the premise that it's going to be one of those books that just makes you like probably tear up or like really feel all the feels. So we shall see. Again, I also really like the cover as well. So this next book is called The Kindest Lie, and I don't know much about this book, but the cover is beautiful. I love it. It's simplistic. And if the cover is good, the book just has to be great, right? No, I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited to read this. Again, don't know much about it, but we will see. The next book is called The Love Songs of W.E.B. Dubois. It's described as a coming-of-age story of a young woman living in Georgia. I live in Georgia, so, you know, it's the same. So we will see. Two books I really don't know much about, but hopefully they're good. This next one, and I mean, the cover is absolutely stunning, but it is called Crosshairs. And I just want to read the premise of it because I feel like me explaining it is not going to do any justice. So here we go. The author of the acclaimed novel Scarsborough weaves an unforgettable and timely dystopian tale about a near future where a queer Black performer and his allies join forces to rise up when an oppressive regime gathers those deemed other into concentration camps. It's set in a terrifying, familiar near future with massive floods leading to rampant homelessness and devastation. I think this sounds so interesting. It sounds very like dystopian, very futuristic, and I just think that it's gonna be a really good book. So I cannot wait to read it. I love things that are like not ordinary, a little bit strange, a little bit weird. So I think this one is going to really bring it. So we will see. This one is not coming out this year. This one I think came out last year, 2020. So nonetheless, I'm still very excited about it. This next book is called The Prophets, and it's essentially about two young men living in the Deep South on a plantation and how they find love and refuge with each other. First, it becomes very simple. Their relationship and their love is quite simple. However, later in the story, that relationship and love is threatened. So I'm excited to read this. You don't often hear about two men on a plantation set in the Deep South and their love story, or just sort of the things that they encounter. So I think this one really piqued my interest. I love that it focuses on that. So I'm excited to read this. It sounds very interesting. It's been described as like very Toni Morrison flow-ish kind of. So I'm excited to see like what that is about because I love Toni Morrison. She's one of my favorite authors. So this one is described very reminiscent of her writing. So I'm excited to dive into this one. Probably my most anticipated read for 2021 is Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri. I love her so much. She is an incredible writer. I have no idea what this book is about, but I do know that if Jhumpa Lahiri writes it, it's a wrap. She's a fantastic writer, and I cannot wait to read this. I'm sure it's gonna be gorgeous. I'm sure it's gonna be heartbreaking. I'm sure it's gonna be reflective because that is her writing and I absolutely am in love. All right, guys, so those are just some of the books that I'm excited to read about. I really want to read very diversely, very widely. Obviously, there are so many books that I still have to read on my bookshelf and so many books that I have pending to read and that I want to read. So this is just a very small taste of some of the books that I'm really hoping to read upcoming that are released this year. So let me know what book you are most ready to read, your most anticipated read for 2021. Again, thanks so much for watching. Thanks again for the love. I'm back in action, so expect regular videos from me from now on. Hopefully my dog doesn't like take over. If you haven't already, make sure that you do subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on any new videos. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram as well so you can see all of my bookish posts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!